there. Move this a bit.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Friday. We are back with another Funder Pro live stream. I'm here with Kyron and Sam. Gentlemen, how you guys doing today?
We're all
great.
good.
Great.
Good to see you guys. Kyron's got the swag fit going today. He's looking fresh. Before we went live, he had the shades on. He was looking even better. But
the shades.
His today or tomorrow? What'd you say?
My birthday is tomorrow, so I'll be 25 tomorrow.
All right, so join us in wishing Kyron a happy birthday tomorrow. I tried the TradeLock app today. Some different size.
I'm gonna move this here.
So, how'd you guys trade yesterday? Did you trade anything yesterday?
Did I trade yesterday? Oh yeah, I actually took 2 trades yesterday. One was a loss, one was a winner. It's actually identical, the same exact trade almost that Cam had took as far as my entry on gold. Let me see, where were we at yesterday in our market?
Yeah, we broke down.
Okay,
pretty hard.
Yeah. Indexes with a little bit of a gap down, looks like, coming into today. Kyron, if you want to share your screen, I can put it up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Getting Nas still selling off here this morning.
I was gonna look for some sells to break the low, but it actually broke, I think just now, or was it? Yeah, about 10 minutes ago we broke the low.
Yeah, I took some shorts last night, pretty early on. I'm trying to see what time it was. Where exactly I took it? I think I took an entry right here. I'd have to double check. But I ended up trailing my stop kind of tight and I ended up getting stopped out at some point. Where did I take this? I'll have to look and see exactly where I took them here in a minute. I made like a little bit, but
what is your guys' strategy, if you don't mind? Well, for me, it's supply and demand. Basically, I've traded for, I think, 2.5 to 3 years straight like that strategy.
I trade. I basically have 4 pillars to my trading system, which is just trend analysis, candlestick analysis, multi-time frame analysis, and hourly levels. I basically use a conjunction of those 4 things. I kind of look for those 4 different things every time I enter a trade. I feel like I'm lagging a little bit today.
Yeah, mine is kind of similar in terms of trading supply and demand. I trade, for me, like, to understand kind of how I trade, you kind of have to understand how I go about the markets. So I look for, let's say we're having trending markets. For instance, on gold, we've been trending to the downside, and I can explain my strategy better with the 2 trades that I took yesterday in the trade that I'm looking for today, or I guess you could say the move, because it's not really that I'm looking to trade today, only because I believe that we're in between structures, but I'll get to break it down how I trade. So in these trending markets to the downside, I'm looking for price to retest a level of, supplier demand, and then looking for my smaller time frame market shift for a continuation down to the downside, and I'll target whatever the low is that starts. How I look for is impulsive moves, corrective structures, and then a continuation is what I call it. So for instance, yesterday I was looking for I believe it was a 15-minute retest of this demand zone here. So this is what I was looking for. It was a 15-minute retest of this demand zone here. You can see prices creating lower lows and lower highs within this bearish structure. This was the low that was created, which was my overall target. This was the low that was broken, which allowed me to set this area here as my key high. And why do I set this as my key high? Obviously, because it was the highest point that started the move for the break of the previous low. So if this high gets broken, now we can see a larger time frame shift form, which means we are now going from in a bearish structure to now being in a bullish structure. And so with the trade that I took yesterday, we tapped into this area of interest here, and then we had I believe it was a 1 minute market shift. So let me pull it up here.
I'm like, what is going on? My screen's got all this weird stuff on it. The heat from my coffee was like steaming up and like getting. Sorry.
So price was creating higher highs and higher lows, and then it came through and it broke through these lows here. So when price came back up to retest, I believe it was in this area with this candle, I went ahead and took shorts. So short position. It was the 5 minute bearish close. Hold on, let me see. So I can show you what candle. Okay, so yeah, this we already had a smaller time frame shift. Price had pushed up. And then once we really within this 15-minute candle, once this 15-minute candle closed bearish, I was interested in shorts because after that 15-minute candle, we had that break of that low. I wanted to get into this 15-minute candle top wick and see this continuation down. So my area, I can't remember where my exact entry was. It happened right after. Oh, okay. This short. This was my trade position here with a stops above and then a target back down to this low. And this ended up being invalidated. When it got invalidated is when we pushed back up. We broke through this high. This high shouldn't have gotten broken if this was going to continue pushing to the downside. And what it ended up doing is breaking my key high up here, my 15-minute key high where we was looking to retest. And once I noticed this, I was like, okay, we're getting that larger time frame market shift that I kind of mentioned up here, where if price breaks through a key high, we now are in switching from in a bearish trend to now being in a bullish wave. So what I noticed after that is I dialed down back to the smaller time frame, and you can see that we're creating higher highs and higher lows within this 5-minute channel here. So we're creating a high. We created a high that broke from my key high. We corrected back down. We pushed back up, came back down to my demand zone that I was looking for, a continuation, because at this point we're now in a bullish market structure. We went from bearish to now bullish, being able to switch the bias when price comes back into my demand. This becomes my key low. Why? Because this was my high, this was the low, this was the lowest point that broke for this high here. So this candle, this 5-minute candle was my demand zone. I wanted to see the bullish reaction off of that zone. We got this 5-minute candle closed bullish. I went ahead and took my trade here, and then I just targeted the high to be broken for that continuation of the trade. So lost 1% on the one trade down, and then made 2% on this on the correction to the upside. So that was kind of the trade.
A reward, baby.
Yeah. So those were the trades that I took yesterday. Today, in terms of what I'm looking at for gold, I'm interested in this move back to this upside. And why I'm interested in a move to retest up here, you kind of see this level a little bit better on the 1 hour time frame. Why I'm looking for a retest back into this level is because on the daily time frame, we just broke through a previous low. Generally, after you break through a low like this, you get some type of correction, whether it be short term or longer term. You get some type of correction to some type of resistance level. And then on the smaller time frame, if we dial down to, for me, on this 30-minute time frame, you can see we have this impulsive move up that took out those highs yesterday that I was looking at. So we got highs taken out here and here. And so for me, this is an impulsive move, and this is now a corrective structure. And we have that larger time frame 1 hour gap that price could fill to the upside up here. But where essentially what I look to get in would have been kind of earlier today, and I just don't like the price action in terms of just how range bound it looks, just low and slow volume. But if we look here, price created a low, created a high that didn't break the previous high, and then it created a new low. Then it created a high, created a low, created a high, almost created a low, didn't create a low, and then came through and created a low, right? So this becomes now the key high, and we broke through this area here when we made this move to the upside. So I know I'm kind of sounding all over the place, but once we broke through this level, that to me was a smaller time frame shift that price could now take a stab at moving higher. And where I would have been interested was in this 15-minute. No, I think it was it the 1 hour? Yeah, this 1 hour candle to be retested. We dial down to a smaller time frame, and just seeing that bullish reaction following the news, this would have been likely the candle that we, look to take our entries. But I just didn't like the price action, and I understood that if this low down here gets broken, we can make a steeper move to the downside, and I just wasn't really interested with how this current, volume looks. So I stayed out the markets, as of yet, and I just kind of told my group that we're just going to wait and let price show us where it's going. I would much rather be interested in taking a buy after we break through this high here and then get a correction back down for a continuation up. That's where I would be more interested in looking at buy entries. I just think that this area specifically is an area that has to get broken through in order for this to run to the upside. So I'm just kind of waiting on it currently. I don't know what you guys are looking for in the markets, but it's kind of my
I was going to answer Trade Zone's question. He asked what we thought of ICT. First off, I don't think there's anything wrong with however anybody wants to trade. If you're able to make money with it, good for you. This is just my personal opinion. I don't believe that he coded the algo. And I personally think he makes a lot of more simple concepts just sound more complicated. And maybe that's just my brain. I like to try to keep things simple. So I don't necessarily mesh or vibe with ICT, but I know a bunch of people that use bits and pieces of the things he teaches in their trading, and they like it. So, I definitely don't want to knock it because I know people that use it and like it, but it's just not for me. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think he kind of overcompensates every single concept, and also he takes a lot of basic concepts like break and retests, fair value gaps, imbalances, and makes it more harder for people to understand. So I don't have anything against him, but he is kind of a liar in my opinion. He just takes people's concepts pretty much. There's so much bullshit around it as well.
Yeah, like some of the stuff he said about like them like coming after him and just like some crazy stuff that's just like, all right, buddy, reel it in.
I personally think
in terms
that,
of what I'm watching for today, obviously we are looking pretty bearish coming into the New York session among the indexes. We opened with a pretty decent gap down after a red day yesterday. So underneath we open underneath a level I have, and we have a lot of room down. I have like another 300 points of room down on the NASDAQ if it wants to give it to us.
You want to show us your screen?
Yeah.
Tyler, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go against you. I'm actually
well. I'm not saying that I am
the trend here.
Well, I'm not saying that I am necessarily bearish. I think that the daily move up, and sorry, I just switched to the app on Trade Locker today for the first time, so I don't have my charts marked with all the levels yet. But if you look at this daily chart, right? Let me pull up the daily chart. Right, we had this really strong move up, and obviously things were looking.
Sorry to interrupt, but it's not showing your screen.
I'm sorry.
It's not up.
Yeah, okay. So if you look at the NASDAQ daily chart, we had such a strong move up here, and then we consolidated here for about 3 days. And then yesterday we finally got a push down and, gap down coming into today. So some continued move down. But overall on the daily chart, this is still just a healthy pullback. So yes, can the short-term trend continue? And can NASDAQ continue to be bearish today? For sure, it definitely can. But I would not be surprised if we find a little bit of support somewhere here that we can see a bounce. So I'm honestly open to trading the NASDAQ either way today. I'm kind of in a sit and wait and see how the first 30, 45 minutes goes type of vibe today.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, it actually touched the highest support level on the weekly time frame, but I don't anticipate,
Okay.
the 5 minute time frame to just shift right away. I anticipate. Wait, I can actually show it.
Yeah,
Can I share my
yeah.
screen so I can show
Yep.
the high time frame? Let's see. So yeah, we're kind of coming into this support level over here. Now, as I said, I mean, we are bearish. So I agree with you. We are gonna go bearish. It's kind of dumb to try and figure out where we're gonna shift. So I'm not gonna just straight on buy. I'm gonna wait for some kind of 5 minute or even 15 minute, some kind of shift into going into higher highs, creating higher highs. But right now, as you can see, we're only creating lower lows in a bearish market structure. So it's no need to try and buy down here, at least not now, until I see some shift. But we have as you said, we have a lot of room to play with. I think this is
we've had a lot
it's a
of
lot of
consolidation
place.
the last 4 days of this week. I think today wouldn't be surprising if we saw a stronger move one way or the other. I have a level on the NASDAQ, on the futures NASDAQ. The price is 20,777 and 50 cents. We opened just underneath that level. So I'm kind of watching that for reactions. If we're able to get back above the opening print and back above that level, and then we're able to give us some sort of test from above that level, that's what I would like to see to get long on the NASDAQ. But if we continue to stay underneath the opening print, I don't have interest in longs.
Yeah, we're far away from the print over here.
Yeah.
We're just dropping.
Well, so I'm when I say the opening print, Sam, I'm referring to like the New York opening print. But yeah,
You're actually marking it like
we are
that.
already dropping. Yes.
Okay.
So I'll use like the New
daily.
York opening print. Yeah, I'll use them both. I use
that's
both like the overnight, but yeah, the New York opening print is a I call it like a free level that we get every day.
Where was it? Yeah, it's pretty much on the same level as the support. So
yeah, I think it was like exactly where you were looking. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually wanted to short this morning. Me and Cam, I think Cam sent this out. He wanted to short, and I just checked, and I saw this 5 minute here, which was a very good supply zone, at least for my strategy. So I wanted to kind of short, but I didn't take the short. Well, I actually did on one of my accounts with a bit lower risk. But I wanted to kind of see the break below this before entering a higher risk. But I mean, we kind of closed underneath. I wouldn't say this as a break. We had a big wick. The close was above 50% of all the wicks, and then we actually came up and broke the high, kind of ranged a bit, and then we broke down. So yeah, I should have actually entered somewhat around here if we broke this, which we did eventually, and then actually we kind of didn't break this high. I wouldn't say this is a break. Would you guys consider this a break? Because I know a lot of people, consider breaks with major breaks. That means you have to close like up here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got a quick little break above. If I'm putting like my stop above like a high like that, I do typically like to give it a couple points of room in case we get like a little spike like that holds. But I can show you a trade yesterday that I took towards the end of the day. That was a frustrating one for me. So this was towards the end of the day yesterday. Kind of a similar thing that you were just showing there. We were clearly kind of downtrending, but every time we got towards Wednesday's low, we were getting like these strong bounces back up. But I had a level down lower that I had just been, I'm like, we're going to go test it. We're going to go test it. And so I was stalking for short entries, and I took short entry. Sorry, I think I'm lagging a little bit. Oop. Let me change this color. But I took a short entry, this little 5 minute, we had this little 5 minute lower high kind of sell setup. So I took on the break of this candle with a stop above its high. And of course, we got the quick push up, stopped me out, and then got the push down to my move. So that's one of those ones yesterday that frustrated me for sure.
Yeah.
This little setup right here gave you a nice sell, quick stop out, and then it made the move. But hey, that's trading. That's trading. And
yeah.
We've been bearish ever since. I probably would have held some too. And but here we go.
Do you guys like to leave runners profits in like all trades you take, or do you?
I do, yes. Depending on the account and what the setup looks like, but in order to avoid FOMO of a trade continuing to run in my direction, I find it beneficial for my mentals to leave, whether it's just 1 or 2 contracts on, just a small piece as a runner, obviously with your stops and profit or whatever. But
as of recently, I think I've more so been like taking full profits at higher time frame areas of interest. And then if I see, let's say, an opportunity after I take my profit, I'll maybe scale into a position at a very low risk. But in terms of like taking profits, I kind of, and I don't know, because I don't know like long term, I don't have like long term data of my strategy of which one is like more
more
profitable. And
beneficial.
yeah, whether it to be hold, because there's a lot of trades that I would hold past my take profit that would come back up to like take me out at a break even or something like that. So I just been, whatever, as long as it gives me a solid risk to reward on the trade, I'm not hesitant to take in, my full profits.
Yeah.
Calling it a day.
Yeah, my trading
mentor
talks about something called dynamic R, or like your dynamic risk to reward, right? So you have maybe you're risking 1 to make 4 on your original trade, but as the trade gets closer to your profit target, and your stop then can be further away from your profit target, right? So you're trying to hold your trade to that final profit target, and at that point you're making maybe another half R or maybe another 1 R, but you're risking 2 R of your open profits in order where your stop is, right? So like your risk to reward can shift as the trade gets closer to your profit target. And it's kind of like an interesting concept that not a whole lot of people talk about, but it makes a whole lot of sense. YM or USD showing some relative strength on the indexes out of the gate.
It seems like NASDAQ is kind of
it's starting to get a little bounce. I have SPX bouncing off a level.
Oh, we actually closed to 1 minute. That's a very strong candle, engulfing candle.
Yeah.
If we break above the 56 level, I'm actually going to go in for a very small risk long.
I like it. I still want to see us back above the OP. I'm going to be patient today. This is where I get torn on the relative strength too, because part of me wants to look at US 30 longs since it's showing the strength, but part of me wants to play NAS as a little catch up. So I'm not sure.
Do you guys consider the liquidity grab as well? I do, but I don't see liquidity grabs as some kind of conspiracy theory like most people do. I mean, there is no need for big banks and institutions to sweep out 50 contracts. They have the liquidity. So, I mean, liquidity grabs could be kind of different concepts It could be a fake out, which is called turtle soup for some people.
Mhm.
It's
That's
basically a
the
false break.
That's
So
what I
it's
think.
just, it could be a whole lot of concepts, a lot of different terms, but in fact, it's just a failed new break. That's it.
Yeah,
There's a
that's what
guy's name's
I agree.
there's a guy's name's Dr. David Paul, and he explains kind of liquidity grabs or how like what's actually happening. But he has a good explanation for it. I'm trying to think exactly what he says, but basically the big banks, the hedge funds, big money, they can't just hit the buy and sell button like you and I can. So they, they're kind of slowly accumulating orders, and that's sort of what really what a liquidity grab is just kind of big money accumulating those orders. He explains it way
Y-
better way better than that,
Yeah, but I
yeah,
agree.
it's not like
Kind
they're
of
like, oh, this guy's there. We see a bunch of stop losses or are sitting right here.
no,
Let's go get
I
the,
know. They're not
you
gonna,
know what I mean?
try
It's
and hunt you, stop loss hunting. They don't do that. They basically just accumulate and
yes, yeah,
distribute.
exactly.
That's their only goal. So often you can see when the market has been ranging for a quite a long time, often after those accumulations or distributions, often those times are when you're gonna see a big impulsive move to one side.
This is gonna be a different one, boys. But I'm looking at a Bitcoin long right now.
Oh, we're getting into
A
those.
Bitcoin long.
I have based off of my level system. We just broke above one of my levels.
Yeah, I'm
We
gonna
put a stop
check
underneath
this one
this
out.
low.
Where did Bitcoin here? Did you guys see the gold shorts yesterday? I should have held the gold shorts yesterday. It just broke down during the Asian session.
Gold
It is
shorts.
so
Let's see.
beautiful. Yeah, I think it was no, it was from Wednesday live. So not yesterday, but it was from Wednesday live when we took shorts. I entered one short on like the
Oh,
5 minute, and then I took a very small risk due to the fact I'm still adapting to low time frames.
I do remember seeing that on the live. I wasn't active like on the live with you guys, but I was watching it. Um, and then I remember you saying that you had closed them as well, like towards the end
Yeah,
of the live that you had got out of positions.
yeah. The first positions I closed out during the rejection that we had. I think I closed them out under the Asian market sweep when we closed below, because then we started rejecting. We actually didn't close under 1 hour, so I just closed out.
Mm. I think I don't know that anybody trades like the larger time frame, but there's two assets. Generally, the assets that I'll trade is gold and EURUSD, and I haven't really tapped into EURUSD in a while, but just looking at it on this week, only because it has had some nice bearish volume the past couple of weeks, especially the past 2 weeks in particular. But just in terms of the overall structure, gold has just been so much easier to read. But where we're at now for EURUSD, just on a weekly time frame, like is a very interesting level. We have like I want to say, well, some people would know it or refer to it as a weekly triple bottom. Um, that rejected off of a key demand zone, or that rejected the push initially to push to the downside, rejected off a key demand zone. And now we have like a huge gap to the downside that price could fill from the bullish move that started in October. I just think that we could start to see within the next couple of months for EURUSD some really clean price action and market structure. I think more so likely leading into when the president is like February. I think when Trump starts to take over, I think that's when we'll maybe see that volume. But just even on the weekly time frame now, where we're at currently is just a very, very interesting level that price could we could start to see some larger time frame sales. It's like how I plan, weeks, months ahead. I like to trade moves and certain moves in the markets based on obvious larger time frame structures, and then literally just capitalizing on the smaller waves within inside that structure. I guess that's pretty much just top down analysis, but just like on a long term, that's kind of what I look at. So you got, what is this, Bitcoin buys here?
I'm in Bitcoin buys. Yeah, let's go, baby. Give us that pimp.
Yeah, you don't want to try and short Bitcoin at this time. To be honest, it's
Pump
moving.
it up. So my target on this trade, I mean, ultimately, I'd like to see us go test all-time highs again. But I'd probably look for a trim around 91,600 would be. I'd take a piece off, and then I'd love to see if we could go back. Go see.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
92.8.
sweep the high on the left. I don't know what price that is. 91,600.
This here.
I think. Yeah, I think we're gonna break that high.
That's my first profit target. Yeah. We kind of have this, like, I'm not a trend line guy, but I'd like to see a little bit of a trend line.
What time frame is
here.
that you're looking at?
This is the hourly right now.
Oh, okay.
But ideally, I'd like
Try
to see
and
us
move
break
this
this
a
kind of
bit.
hourly trend and get that move up there. But really, this was a pretty simple entry. Like, if I were to explain this entry, it's basically, obviously, Bitcoin's extremely bullish right now. We had this pullback. This is a key hourly level for me, and we had an outside engulfing 5-minute bar that gave us a nice strong close. So I just took an entry on that 5-minute bar. The KISS method, baby. Keep it simple, stupid. How about you guys, chat? What are you guys watching? Anybody in anything? How's your trading week been? I made some memes last night about making a bunch of money during the election pump and giving it all back during the following choppy days that preceded. I think like every new trader, I'm sure a lot of new traders just went through that.
Yeah, I think so. Has Trump been sworn in as president yet?
No, not until
not
February,
yet.
I think.
Okay.
He's been electing a bunch of people in positions, but yeah, he's not. They haven't done the switch over yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I took a low risk entry on longs on NAS. I want to see.
You got into NAS longs?
Yeah, it's a very high risk one, but I anticipate we're gonna have the big shift here. Depends on what this 5-minute candle does. So yeah, I got in on here after the close. We're starting to reject, but we have some demand over here on the 1 minute. So I kind of want to see.
It was a tricky week. You said you didn't have a good week. I'm sure you're not alone. I think it was one of those weeks.
It's been a very hard week.
Yeah, the previous week we obviously had a very strong bullish trend, and just naturally, human psychology, you want that to continue. But yeah, we once the market starts to get really choppy after a big move like that, it's almost to be expected in a sense, right? But it's still hard, and it's super difficult to navigate. So try not to beat yourself up. Just try to learn from it for next time, and go from there. And Pavel, just to answer your question, we haven't been promoting the live a bunch just because it's so new. We kind of wanted to start and do it and get the kinks worked out and make sure that we're running smoothly on all cylinders. I I think probably coming in the next week, we're going to start like promoting it and pushing it a lot more. Now that we have a couple weeks under our belt. But we, just so you know, for future reference, we're streaming every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the New York session, the first couple hours of the New York session. So that's why you haven't seen it everywhere, though. We just kind of wanted to get on here since it's something new and work those kinks out a little bit. I'm liking the NAS entry, Sam. We'll see what the Bitcoin long I'm in does, but I will join you. But I still would like to see us get a little higher first before I'm.
Yeah, I mean, if we break above this level, which is near the New York opening print, that would be a good indication. But this was an early stage entry.
So you're looking at what time frame is that? The 1 minute?
Yeah, this is 1 minute. So basically, this whole section where we couldn't break any lower, we stopped, did a final try and push, didn't do anything at all. Price didn't budge. We came out with high momentum. This is 3 straight candlesticks, which closed as a 5 minute engulfing. So I hope we reject from this level and continue with the momentum that we're having. So we're reversing the momentum, I hope. Or not. We could just go straight down, you know, since we're already bearish.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this turns into a little bit of a 1 minute bull flag here that then gets a break to the upside.
Yeah. Could be a 15-second bull flag.
I think those are both very interesting trades. I'm still just waiting on this gold. The 4-hour on Trade Locker is about to close, and it's closing above a resistance level here. So I definitely want to see the move on the next 4-hour candle. See if we can't start to get that gap to the upside.
Yeah, this is my primary trading strategy, so I'm kind of getting to bond with Nasdaq a bit. Working with the relationship I have with it.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Sam is more of a swing trader. He doesn't take a lot of trades per week, or I think he only said a few trades per month, if I recall correctly.
Depending on what month it is. Usually summer markets are really good for me.
Yeah, but
so about 3 trades a month.
Yeah, he's been playing around with the smaller time frames with us a little bit.
Yeah, I need a pacemaker for this, to be honest. It's crazy.
Air X, we're not. None of us are trading any currency pairs. This is currently NAS 100. So Sam is in a NAS 100 long, which is the U.S. indices, and I am in a Bitcoin long, which is crypto, obviously.
The common sense investor says he was in a 10K challenge. He was doing great. Then the NYSE opened and AUD USD crashed like it did. And he hit the daily drawdown and lost the account. Yeah, that just comes down to, you just got to modify your risk and make sure that you stay within those daily parameters. The best thing about these accounts is, or the best thing that I've learned from having these accounts is, your risk management is truly, truly important with being able to keep the accounts for long term. So short-term gains are good, but it's all about being able to get those long-term returns. So, just managing your risk, and you load it up again and go from there.
Yeah, the common sense investor, what I would say to that, right? You said you were doing great, and then New York opened, and you end up hitting your daily drawdown. I would look at your trade management there. Like if you were doing great, so the trade was working out in your favor, but you still had your stop loss in a place that was enough to blow the account. In my opinion, you should have trailed your stop. You know what I mean? Move your stop to break even, move it a little bit tighter, lock a little bit of profit, take a partial close, right? And then hold some runners. Unless you got stopped out and it like sent you on tilt and you took more trades. I'm not sure exactly what ended up happening there, but if it was all from the one trade that you were in, I would look at your trade management a little bit. Obviously your risk management, like Kyron said, but your trade management within that risk management. When a trade starts going in your favor, just protect your downside, right? So worst thing that can happen is you can go back to break even and not lose the account, right? So that definitely helps me when I'm trying to hold a winner. If I can get to a point where it's like, okay, this trade is risk free, it takes a lot of the emotion out of it because okay, worst case scenario, I'm back where I started, right? Just don't dig yourself any hole. As traders, we are risk managers, so think about protecting your downside, protect that ass at all costs, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with this. I've been trading the lower time frame strategies on Nasdaq for, I think, is it 2 weeks now? Maybe, I think 2 weeks. And basically I'm just down. If I lose this, which I might will do actually, depending on how we react, I'm just down, just under 2%. And I've taken like, I think 10 trades. So it's a very, very low risk approach on this, considering this strategy is much higher risk.
I think that's a good way to go about it.
Things
especially starting out something new.
Looks like the
momentum shifted down again.
Bearish. New lows on SPX. YM making new lows on the day. Nas just made new lows on the day. My
watch me predict
Bitcoin trade just pulled back into the level. So just went from green to, I think, a very small red right now.
Yeah, I think we're going to go up from here. Just due to the fact that it stopped me out. That's how we work on Fridays.
There's that liquidity grab.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, there's your liquidity grab, Jason. There you got it.
But no, there's no arguing. I mean, that 15-minute looks ugly. There's no arguing that we could continue to go lower.
Yeah, depending on how we close, we could somehow, if the body closes somewhat around here, that could be a good reversal signal. Or if we just spike up during the last 10 seconds here.
Man, I woke up
under here, we are cooked.
I woke up this morning. I saw somebody posted. It was just like to mess with people. It was like a screenshot of Bitcoin dumping to 12K. It was like the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I panicked and threw the charts.
Everybody checked their portfolios.
Yeah,
yeah. First thing to do, morning routine, check the portfolio.
Trade Zone FX. So based off of the FunderPro data, I know for a fact that if you statistically, it's a tough word for me apparently. Statistically speaking, if you lose 2 trades in a day, you should call it a day. If people continue to trade after 2 losses, our data shows that they very often will then end up blowing their account. Who are you guys? AirX, my name is Tyler Davis. You can find me on social media under the name Risk Life News, basically on every social platform. And I'm with Sam and Kyron. They can shout out. I don't know if Sam has socials. I know Kyron does. His is For the Culture FX. But I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Yes.
I don't have any.
Go ahead, Sam.
Oh no, that's all you. It's your birthday tomorrow. You can have this one.
All right. So yeah, my name is Kyron. I've been trading in the markets for like coming up on 5 years now. And like Tyler said, you can check out my socials For the Culture FX. So you can find that on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I've just gotten more active on like Threads. I haven't really got onto X, but so I post a lot of educational content, whether it comes down to, actual trades that I'm taking, tips and things that I've learned throughout my journey, psychology, all that in a bag of chips. And really more so just going to be documenting my journey in the next couple of months for all of 2025. It'll be more in-depth breakdowns of, my journey as a trader and the day-to-days, the things that we go through, the things that I do, the steps I'm taking to become better, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so my name is Samuel Smith. I've been trading for quite long. I think I'm on to my 4th year now, actually. And I don't really hang out on social media. I have social media, but I'm private. I don't post much, especially on Instagram. But I run a signals group, which is called Quante Capital, basically where I send signals. It's free. I've been sending signals for a year and 2 months now in that group. And we're doing very, very well. I think some of the people there might actually be watching the live. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's a bit about me. I'm a very private person, as you could tell. So I don't hang around that much on social media, but could change. Could change.
We got the VIX. The VIX is pumping.
Let's see. Let me pull up Trade Locker on.
They are FunderPro traders. Yes, we are.
Yes, I have been funded with FunderPro and received multiple payouts. When we started the live stream, we all started a new 25K challenge, which is what I'm currently trading right now. I'm also a futures trader. It's actually my preferred method of trading. FunderPro Futures will be launching soon. So I'm looking forward to that. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
This is actually so fun, just sitting trading live and actually learning a bit about the market, especially the Nasdaq, since I don't trade Nasdaq, especially on the lower time frame. So I'm just sitting here learning, kind of adapting. Meanwhile, it's very fun.
I haven't traded Nas myself personally, but been seeing you guys trading. I've been looking at, trading gold and Nas, on the future side of things, just because futures is generally more regulated, or it is, shall I say, more regulated. But, in the next coming months, or weeks, shall I say, I'll be looking to add it to the portfolio and really actively trade it, because the price action on Nas 100, especially during like New York session, pre NY, is generally really beautiful. Like, you got a clean price action that happens on Nas. Even now, the structure is just within this nice, trend that it's been on.
Yeah.
So
Once
much
we
volume.
finally broke out of that consolidation, the downtrend has been super clean.
Yeah, a lot
Like
of
the
volume.
last,
Looking at this 1 hour.
yeah, the
this
last
year.
like 2 hours of New York yesterday, and then the last 2 hours were kind of choppy, but towards the end of yesterday, and then the overnight action has been a pretty clean downtrend.
Yeah, even actually London Open was a bit of consolidation before pushing up here.
Excuse me 1 second, guys. I gotta.
Yeah, we're kind of reaching for the 50% of the whole move. I think that's the daily move. My favorite tool, which is the Fibonacci retracement. People are going to be so tired of me talking about the Fibonacci tool all the time.
I don't blame
Listen, man, I tell you what, if once you guys have kids and once they start going to school, just be prepared to be sick like all the time. The amount of diseases those little things bring into my house. I had to go off. I had to blow my nose. I got a cold going.
That is motivating. Watch out for those.
Motivating to have kids or to not have kids?
Both.
That's funny.
I'm literally just waiting on gold. The future, if Funder Futures is going to be the same, like FunderPro, real quick.
AirX, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if they've finalized the futures product yet. So I don't know if they made that decision yet or not. They may launch with like a more standard model compared to the rest of the futures industry with a path towards live funding. But I'm not 100% sure. They haven't made that announcement yet, so I couldn't tell you for sure. Are you still in your NAS trade, Sam, or did you get stopped?
No, I got stopped. We broke down.
Yes.
I thought the momentum were actually going to shift, but it was a momentum manipulation, and we just straight up, straight down.
Yeah. I may get stopped on my Bitcoin trade here too. We faded that nice little pop. Looks like I'm about to get stopped here pretty soon. Unless those
Yeah,
low
I'm trying to
holds.
look for some gold levels. I don't trade, support and resistance that much with touches, but this could be a good support if we break above. No, it's fine.
I just had to reset my program because my 4-hour.
Trades, and you asked about risk percentage. So my personal suggestion to you when you're trading prop firm is base your risk percentage off of your drawdown, not the account size, right? So if you're trading a 10K challenge account and you're basing your risk off of the 10K amount, you're actually risking a pretty significant amount towards your drawdown. I can't remember what the drawdown is exactly, if it's 7% or 10%, but so I would, a lot of people will tell you, risk 1 to 3%. And so if you do that, if you risk 1 to 3% based off of your drawdown amount, that's like a really, really, really small amount, right? So I personally would risk like a slightly, higher percentage, like maybe I'm risking 5 or 10%, but I'm risking that 5 or 10% of the drawdown amount. So if that drawdown amount is, $1,000, I'm risking, anywhere from 3 to 5%, whatever. You have to decide your personal risk appetite. I personally like to risk a little bit more in a challenge phase, and then scale that risk back once funded. Just because I don't like to spend a ton of time in the challenge phase, but I also have 3 years of experience, and I just know that about myself. But yeah, I personally think a good suggestion is base your risk off of your drawdown limit as opposed to the account size. Because even though the account size says 10K, 25K, 50K, whatever it may be, really what you have to trade with is your drawdown amount. So I think that's a good way of looking at it. I did get stopped on Bitcoin, by the way. Wah, wah, wah. I want to add some sound effects that we can add for.
That would be cool. That would be.
Yeah, we should have a soundboard. You can just push buttons.
Yeah, exactly. I think StreamYard gives us an option to do it. So.
Nas is just ripping to the downside here.
Yeah, everything's looking ugly, man. This downtrend looks like it may just continue. We may just have a downtrending day. It's giving me those vibes right now.
I think within the next hour, I think we're gonna have some major shift here. Due to the fact that we are trading, I don't know the exact percentage, but I think we are trading above the outside. I think the second or even third standard deviation is gonna be exhausted in a while. So let's just wait and see.
So one of the things that I have found that I struggle with in my trading is I tend to prefer longs, and I have found myself fighting downtrend days to be one of my issues. So the fact that I'm just aware of that, definitely I'm staying very cautious, very patient to try any longs. I don't disagree
Tyler,
with
do you
Sam.
want to know a
I
trick?
can absolutely see a bounce, but I'm going to stay patient for sure.
Yeah, you want to know a trick? Because I have the exact same problem. If you look at my trading journal on Notion, you can see longs every time.
Yeah.
Click Alt and then I. You're gonna shift it like this, upwards. So I look for
inverse the chart.
Yeah, inverse the chart. So once I look, because I have such a mental problem just looking at a short setup. Because I'm like, well, if this was a long, I would take it. If it occurred in the other side. So for example, if I were to buy, and I see this setup, and if this was a buy setup, that would be an A+ setup. I would actually short
agree. It
this.
looks like a great
I
long
tried
setup. Yeah,
this and it actually worked. This is how I actually shorted gold yesterday with the 8+ setup.
I very early on in my trading, somebody told me that, and I've never really played around with it much. How do you do it on TradeLocker? What did you hit?
Well, I'm on Windows. Are you on a Mac or Windows?
I'm on a Mac. I am on the app though.
I mean, I just clicked Alt and then I.
Oh, Alt I. Oh, okay. So it's probably some sort of command. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So you somehow just shift the chart, and that actually helped me looking at my. I actually want to show you guys the setup, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Are you? Is your screen up there?
Yeah, it's my screen.
Okay.
So I hate shorting due to the fact that everything I'm trading is bullish, like the gold and Nasdaq. So it's kind of hard to short. Now I'm just gonna wait for this to load. My internet is a bit laggy, so that's why. Now this would be so hard for me just if we were here. Pretend like the candles to the left are the candles that are visible to the right. There's no price action. So once I saw this, I wanted to short, but it kind of made me feel insecure that I'm going to short once we have like such a big gap here.
Mm-hmm.
But I know if you were uptrending, which we are on the weekly time frame and daily, I would actually want to buy here. So I just shifted. And I was like, oh well, if we're in an uptrend here, we have a new base, rally, consolidation, and then a big engulfing candle. This is an A+ setup for me at least. So I was like, yeah, shoot, I'm gonna short, and it played out. So that's kind of how I trick myself. I just look at the
like
longs,
when
and
you
then I
have
just short it instead.
When you have it inverted like that, and you pull up like to trade, do you take a buy on that chart?
No. I short. So before I just do the
yourself,
analysis. Yeah, I just do the analysis in this, and then I shift back and be like, okay, I've decided I'm buying or I'm shorting.
So
And
do
then
you
I don't
know if
think
it's
about it.
inverted like that, if you would have been able to take like a buy essentially, like with it inverted, or would it have had to be?
I don't think it flips that, Kyron. I think it's
No,
still.
it's just the chart layout. So if I were to buy
Gotcha.
here, if the price went up, which actually means down here, I would be in minus in drawdown. So I have to
Yeah.
short. So I invert back when I actually do trade it, so I don't, mess up my buy and sell signals. That would have been weird. Imagine just saying, yeah, I'm gonna go short, taking a long instead.
Trade Zone asks if we trade prop firm or personal. I personally trade a little bit of both. I trade prop firms when it comes to futures and forex, and I have a personal cash account that I use to trade options in the U.S. equities market.
Yeah, so I have both as well. I have about 400K in funding, and I'm in the process of taking 200K in challenges. And then I have a personal account as well that I trade strictly. It's a little more of a high leverage account because on my personal funds, I have a little bit more flexibility of, not having a daily drawdown limit and things of that nature. So I trade both, but I don't trade them at the same time, if that makes sense. I kind of dabble between one or another. I generally don't like to trade all my capital on, especially on the same asset. I think it's just kind of like putting, all your eggs in one basket, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I trade live, but I only trade stocks live. So I don't trade CFD contracts live or futures for that matter. The prop firms I traded 3 years ago, and then I actually took a break for a year trading prop firms due to the fact that a lot of prop firms, had some issues, went down and stuff. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, I took a break from prop firms, just trading stocks for a while. But now I'm back with props since FunderPro is, in my opinion, the best prop firm out there. It made me want to do a strong comeback.
I definitely took a break this year with the funds because I mean, over the past year, I had like 1.2 million in funding that I had, lost with firms shutting down and things like that and not getting paid out. So over the past year, literally these up until, I found FunderPro. I think that and another account is the only accounts that I had got this year. and the other firm that I got the account with ended up shutting down. So it was like, yeah, I'm all right. I need something that both myself and everyone around me can utilize that's trustworthy. And I definitely think that FunderPro is that for sure. I just like the model that the firm provides with having an A-book firm, having the real live capital, same day withdrawals, no, BS rules once you get to the funded stage. Only real rules are generally like consistency rules, not making 45% in a day for the challenge phase, and then, your daily drawdown rules and whatnot. But I think in terms of, the firm itself, they really do want you to be a successful trader. And so a lot of firms aren't like that. And I've worked with them, I've dealt with it, and, struggle to get payouts, having to fight firms changing rules like within, it's just a lot without, any introduction or notification. Simply to deny payouts is kind of what I see it as. But yeah, so the past year I have not acquired as much funds, because actually going into this year I had a goal to take, the 1.2 million to over 3 million in funding. um and then everything, I want to say around like March, everything just started to shut down. And after that, I just didn't want to, acquire more funds. I got one account with one firm and then they shut down. It was like, okay. But then once I seen, like I said, Funder Pro's motto, it was like, this is it. This is a firm that I can get behind.
Yeah, I feel you.
Man, this is
Chat. Oh,
oh,
sorry, good.
no, you good, you good, you good. I'm just
I
complaining
just
about
wanted
how good
to
it felt.
ask the chat, what kind of things do you guys want to see on the stream? Is there anything that you guys think we're missing? Do you want uh, more education? Do you want more trades taken actively? Do you want more entertainment? Should Kyron put his shades back on and bring the vibes? Like what kind of
I gotta
Oh,
put the
not the
shades back on. That's
shades.
what happened.
Hey, let's
Oh, there
go.
we go.
The-
Come on.
There it is, the dude. Come on. Tell me you're not gonna make you sit down at the charts looking like that, you're bound to make money, bro.
Now you
Bound
have
to
to
You
make
keep
said
money.
you're
those on.
bound to make money. It's the meta. I'm gonna have to ask Meta, should I take a buy or sell on gold?
Um wait, somebody asked that?
Wait, you said what?
Oh, sorry, I started reading the comments.
Oh no,
Uh
you good.
Trade Zone said how to choose the right prop firm. We all know there are many of them that are coming up every day like mushrooms. Personally, Trade Zone, I would stick to prop firms that have been around, have a good reputation of paying out their customers on time, quickly. And obviously, Funder Pro is who we think you should trade with. We a book our traders, so there's no reason to ever deny a payout because the payout comes from the market. When our funded traders make money, we also make money with the profit split. So as soon as a payout request comes in, our CEO Gary loves to hit that payout request and accept it because that is the company is also making money along with the trader. So my suggestion would be just stick with firms that have a good reputation of being around for a long time and being reliable, and that's probably your safest bet. So.
Yeah, I agree. I would also go to look at reviews. Like, look at the reviews. What are people saying about this firm? You can go to like Trustpilot and look up any, firm's reviews, and then to take a look at the rules. Like, the biggest thing is looking at the rules. Does this firm, allow you to be a successful trader? And why I say that is because there's some firms, I'm not going to name any firms specifically, but there are other firms that have certain rules that can hinder you. One rule specifically that just really irks my nerves with the funded accounts that I do have is just having to have a consistency rule. So basically you can't make, I think it was anywhere of 30% of your profit, your payout profit. You can't make that in a single day. And then you also have to have your lot size be within a consistency range, which doesn't equate for trading the two assets that I trade, which is gold and EUR USD. So trading, on the 1 minute time frame on gold, a move that would be, a one lot for gold is equivalent to something that would be 10 lots on EUR USD with that same type of price action and move on the same type of time frame. So having to have the flexibility of that lot size consistency, or having to keep your lot size within a consistency range, it only allows you to trade, certain assets and certain time frames. Really, I guess it's more so about the time frames rather than just the assets in general. Because if you look to trade one trade and taking it on 4 hour setup, and then you trade in the 1 minute time frame, those lot sizes are going to be marginally different, especially on like a bigger account size. You'll see the difference, especially if you risk the same percentage. I only take 1% risk, whether it's on gold, EUR, USD, whether it's on the 4 hour time frame, 1 minute time frame. It's generally 1%. So that, I would look at the rules, and really dive into the rules. And the best thing, the most important thing is, are people getting paid? So look at the reviews. Are people getting their payouts? How long are they taking? Those are things that is the most important thing. Like, are people getting paid? Because you don't want to spend your money and use your time trying to pass these account challenges and just to get to the end of the road and have a payout denial. It From somebody who's been there a couple times, that it sucks. It definitely does suck.
Yeah, I obviously I understand the consistency role in the challenge portion. I think that
Yeah,
makes sense.
facts.
That
But
we have the consistency role in a funded account. I agree with you. It's like you're just limiting the amount of money that I can make. It just drives me nuts. But
that
yeah,
with on top of a lot range consistency, it
yeah,
really is
that's crazy. Yeah.
And it doesn't disprove whether or not you're a good trader. It just means that you could be trading different time frames. Same risk
I am
percentage.
watching Bitcoin for a potential second entry here.
Bitcoin for a potential second entry. I'm just waiting here for gold. Gold is just kind of ranging all day.
Yeah,
Like,
it
Yeah, I mean
still is
everything's looking ugly right now. I'm
constantly.
not taking it yet, but Air Exit, what are the chances of us getting shut down? I mean, as far as I know, obviously I can't predict the future, but I'm pretty sure there's like zero chances of that. I think Funder Pro does things the right way, and I don't think that is ever a concern that you need to have.
Hosting some giveaways. Tyler, what do you think about that?
I think it'll come. Yeah, I think it'll happen eventually. I definitely am working on it for you guys. Funder Pro, compared to a lot of platforms, right? They just know what they're essentially, right? They know they're offering that security by booking and doing things differently, right? They don't do a lot of big discounts and a ton of giveaways like a lot of other platforms do, because they know that the product that they are offering is better in a sense where they're booking you. They want you to make money. They're on your side, to where a lot of the other platforms, they just want to get you in the door so then they can continue to sell you challenges and that you hopefully fail, So I am working on it. Hopefully we'll get the green light to do some giveaways. I want to do them in some fun ways too, like obviously to add to the entertainment value of the stream too. Like instead of just like randomly picking them, I think it would just be fun to come up with some goofy ways to do some giveaways. But we'll see. We'll see how things play out. I'm sure it'll happen eventually.
Yeah, I just wrote I did not enter this for the chat. I set up this long position, but I don't want to enter this one. It's a very, very high risk one. So I'm just, just marking out a potential one. I'm doing this for my lower time frame psychology, pretty much.
I like it.
There's just so much
Yeah, I mean, it's
volume.
rally-based rally setup with the stops under the low. I mean, this setup is a very, very good setup. At least this pattern of 3 candles. If I'm looking at the higher time frame now, I'm not quite sure doing this on the 1 minute, but what it should do is react from this bottom here, and from this one we should be able to break the high and continue higher. Now I don't want to enter this due to the fact that we're just pushing, we're just dropping, and this area that I just drew out where I said potential in caps due to the fact that it's a very high risk zone, but we could see some potential shifts here, but I'm not going to enter it due to the fact that it's very high risk. We are just flowing very, very bearish, so I'm just going to wait this one out, even though it's a cool pattern to trade.
Is anybody in any trades? Anybody in the chat? I'm kind of interested. Me, I mean, there's nothing really to do with gold. Gold is just
I'm waiting on that as well.
Previous bar closed bullish. You said what?
I haven't even looked at gold today. I'm gonna pull it up. Take a look.
Yeah, it's just consolidating within this structure, and it hasn't quite yet set a decision of which direction, in my personal opinion. So I've been more so looking at EUR USD.
Oh yeah, it's tight consolidation.
Because we got a little bit cleaner price action there. Been short in Q for a minute.
Okay.
Count already.
Yeah. Lito's been. I know you got stopped on a trailer. Let's go. Are you eating, Lito? Are you eating? Are you
the
big?
bearish volume on Nas has been crazy the past couple days.
I don't know Lito's entry, but I feel like he's got to be up decent here.
Yeah, I mean, if this continues lower, you're steak and shrimp, baby.
Yeah. He must be eating real good.
I took another Bitcoin long stab. We'll see how she plays out. Steak and shrimp today, baby. Let's go. Blew the account already. That's no good. What happened, AirX? This is just to show. I took a bit of an anticipation entry. I had another level. I don't have it marked on here, but I had another level that down here on Bitcoin. I just took a stab on to see if it could hold. Let me see.
100 points. Dang.
Lito's up 100 points?
Yeah.
That's my boy right there. Let's go, baby. That's what I like to see.
I just know he's sitting there smiling, looking at his chart. I can see it. I can see it.
Go, Lito. Let's go, baby. I just passed up the larger profit, and then we try to go back.
How do you guys manage?
Listen, man, trading is not Pokemon. You're not going to catch them all, right? So I think that's the way you got to look at it. You're not going to catch the bottom and the top of every trade, right? We're here to just hop on, ride the wave for what we can get, and that's it, right? So don't beat yourself up. Very rarely are you going to catch the top and the bottom of a trade, right? So just realize that, be aware of that, and know that there will be 100 other opportunities right around the corner. Is the best way I think I could tell you to try to manage your FOMO.
Yeah, just understanding, like you said, just understanding that this is going to be one trade in a grand scheme of trades. And honestly, you gave back some profits, I think is what you said, and you got 20% of what your profit could have been. You still ended up with a profitable day. So, those are sometimes can be hard to come by. So just understanding that it was a profitable day. You won the day. That's how I look at it. You won the day. And then just understand how you could have potentially managed that trade a little bit better. In terms of dealing with the FOMO, like obviously I wouldn't, look to just hop into any other trades or anything like that. Just understand that this is just one trade in a grand scheme of your whole journey. You took a trade. This isn't the first trade and it's not the last trade, So just understanding that there's more to come. It's just the beginning.
And yeah, also Wizard, to add to that, you made a good point in your comment yourself, and I think you're right. We've talked about this in our chat a little bit, that the wicks on the price action this week have been tricky. It's been choppy. So you said in your comment, maybe it's just different price action this week, and maybe holding next week will work better. That is 100% true, right? Because some weeks you're going to get trending action, and some weeks you're going to get choppy action, right? So if you can identify what type of price action you're currently trading in, and try to manage your trades based off of that, right? So coming into today, the last 4 days, this whole week has been pretty choppy. So having the expectation of like, all right, listen, I'm looking to take my trade, get my profits, and get out, because this week has shown me that it's been tricky, it's been choppy. And just kind of having that awareness is important, I think. But at the end of the day, you never know. You never know when a day is going to trend. You never know when a day is going to be choppy. So it's just kind of one of those things that it's always going to be a little bit different, but it's just part of trading. Yeah. That Lito said this is the type of week that a lot of traders will quit on, and 100%. So if you're able to just manage this week, if you're able to stay afloat this week, if you're able to not blow your account, if you're slightly green, I mean, consider that a win. You know what I'm saying? Consider that a win, 100%. Because I can promise you, a lot of traders blew up this week. Guaranteed.
Some have for sure.
This week required patience, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's just surviving the bad weeks, the bad markets, and then thriving in the normal markets. That's it. Just survive sometimes. That is not going to be every week profits. That's not how it works. That's not the game here.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And I think what you said, Tyler, when you were talking about, what was it that you had said? You were talking about understanding what type of week it is in terms of like volume and structure, and taking profits on those weeks that might have those slower profit or those slower market structures, or even just complex, I would call them complex market structures, where price, kind of like for today with gold, is kind of just ranging. Taking profits quicker in those instances, and then holding when you have that clean price action of prices moving with volume. Those are areas and times that I would look to hold longer. And I've seen that in myself, because sometimes I'll look for a break of a high, or a break of a low as a target level. But in those times where we're having slow and low volume, I'll look at the supply or the demand zone, rather than waiting for a break through that zone to take profits. Because in those days where we have these choppy markets, a lot of times you get reversals at those supply and demand zones. So I just go ahead and take my profits and call it a day.
Yeah, Lito mentioned this in the comments too, is and this isn't something that really gets talked about often, I think, among Forex traders, but this week in the markets was OPEX, which is the monthly options expiration. So like big money, people have big positions on, right? They're shifting around a lot of things. You got big monthly options contracts that are expiring. So that oftentimes, OPEX can oftentimes have choppier weeks. So the fact that we had made that super large move up, plus it was OPEX or OPEX week, there were definitely some signs for this week being choppy. Bitcoin, don't do it to me, baby. Don't do it to me, baby.
Oh, is it dropping?
Yeah, she gave me a little teaser of the hold, but
in terms of this week, I don't think price action on gold was too bad. We had a lot of volume to the downside. It's just,
I was gonna say gold was a pretty clean downtrend, yeah. And that is the thing too, right? Like if it's the OPEX week amongst the options contracts, right? That's going to have a much bigger effect on the indices, because the indices are they're groups of stocks that have options in them, right? So like that is going to affect that a lot more than gold. Gold, I don't think would be nearly as affected by something like OPEX. So
Yeah.
there's so that's why I think it's important if you can trade, if you can trade the indices and you can trade gold, if you have a good understanding of them both, maybe even you have a currency pair or two that you like. Because when certain market conditions present themselves, maybe in the indices, you then can turn to gold or you can turn to a currency pair that you like to trade instead. So I think that's a good point, Kyron. Let's go, baby. Give us the hold. Give us a dub.
Yeah, I want to see.
Yeah, no problem, Wizard. No
NASDAQ just
problem, Wizard. We
ripping up
appreciate
here.
you tuning in all the streams, man. We appreciate you tuning in.
Is everyone from the US, I think, in the chat? Or do we have some other viewers maybe?
I think
I
we
hope
had a lot
someone
of
is from
people
Sweden. I hope
like
so.
overseas when we had asked. I want to say sometime, maybe Monday. If not Monday, then last week for sure. But there's a lot of different places and countries that people were tuning in from.
They're gonna be calling you Mr. Worldwide, Kyron.
Soon I plan on traveling worldwide.
I like it. And that gold range is tight. Yeah, it's funny you say that, right? Because gold gave us a good downtrend all week, and the indexes are pretty choppy. Now the indexes have given us a pretty good downtrend overnight and today, and gold has been choppy. Just like an interesting switch. We like that bounce, Bitcoin. We like it, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Both Bitcoin and NAS turned around.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, now it's just 4 hours. But, or no, it just closed.
Listen, if I'm gonna keep trading Bitcoin, we need like a filter that gives me the red laser eye. So every time I'm in a Bitcoin long, I can just throw that filter on.
We should have a different backgrounds. You should have a crypto wallpaper instead of the
the
bricks behind you.
I'll make a couple this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'll activate your crypto trades.
I'll definitely be down to do some crypto trading in the future.
I've never even really thought about trading crypto.
It feels risky though. That's it. It feels a lot safer to stay on gold, you know?
It does.
Gold is like home somewhat.
I'm definitely less familiar. I mean, I'm very unfamiliar with the price action itself, but the way I look at my level system is it works on any instrument.
Yeah.
I mean, as you can see how the bounces. So, and I just, it's Bitcoin's in hype season right now. We gotta dabble. A little entertainment for worst case scenario.
It definitely is in that hype season. Everybody is looking now. And these are the areas that people start to look to invest into. I would say retail traders more so would look to start investing once they see these pops up. So I personally don't trade Bitcoin, but I do hold Bitcoin. Like I have positions that I've had from like when we was at 54,000, and then a little bit from last year when we was at like 20 something. When that it was like the October September time frame, I had gotten some payouts from firms that I literally just left in Bitcoin. Just because of where I had got in at was such a good, or where I had gotten at, it was such a good spot. It just wasn't it made no sense to take it out. But yeah, that is definitely up, 4 times from my initial entry. or from my entry from last year, and then pretty much doubled the entry from earlier this year.
I might
See,
have to keep an eye on Dogecoin too, baby.
deep down you are a swing trader. I just know it.
Who, me?
You
No, I
won the
am.
swing
I
trades.
started off
Yeah,
as a swing trader. That's what it
that's
was,
what
and
I'm
I just
saying.
I only
Swing
switched
traders are the
because
best.
to pass prop firms. I kind of talked about it on Monday, but it's back when prop firms had like a 30-day time limit. Swing
Yeah,
trading just would not pass you an account. So I
no, it
had
was
to learn
horrible.
how to trade like a smaller time frame just so that I could fit with, because I would trade like the 4-hour time frame. So maybe I get like one or maybe like one or set up a week or so, and that just was not conducive to passing the challenge. And then
Yeah,
I would have to hold trades for like 3, 4, 5 days, and next thing you know, the whole month is gone, and I only took 2 trades.
yeah, yeah. The 30
So
day limitation on prop firms before, they were so horrible, especially
yeah,
for
and then
me
it,
coming
it
in with a swing.
it
It's
was
hard.
hard also because it's like you can't time good price action. So what if it's just a
Yeah,
terrible month, like a rough month in the markets? You can't really time, a good, and you have to force yourself to take trades so that you can pass in that little time limit or whatever. So it was definitely rough. I'm glad they did away with the time limit. I mean, it didn't.
yeah,
A lot of people, I'm sure the data shows that a lot of people would blow their accounts before that time limit or anyway, so it didn't make too much difference on
yeah.
the P&L of the firm itself. But for traders that like myself, it definitely opened some
I
things
mean,
up.
you kind of had to blow it. If you're up like 6% on the fund and you have like 2 days left, you kind of have to gamble the
I
rest.
lied
So
to you not. The very first account, I don't recommend. I mean, it was different then. You had that 30-day time trial, but
yeah,
the
you kind of
first
had to.
the first funded account that I passed, and I ended up making like 20K from that account. I was down 7% on the very last day. And like it just so happened to be at NFP Friday. And I was like, you know what? Well, I'm gonna lose this account today, regardless. This is the last day of my 30 days, and it's NFP Friday. So that morning, I woke up. I lied to you not. I took a trade, and I took a trade that ended up being a loss. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to sleep for the rest of the day. I don't even care. And then as I'm laying there, I'm like, well, if I'm gonna lose anyway, I might as well try to get and it was a
Yeah,
great move that I had took. I was like, I might as well at least try. I mean, yeah. I've never been a full port type of person because I just never risked. But I mean, at that point, I was gonna lose my account, so I was like, all right,
yeah,
NFP. I think it was EUR USD sell, and it was looking bearish, and it was showing signs of a bearish structure. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take this sell. So I took the sell at like. I only had like 2% left to risk in the account. So I took it at 2%. It made, I want to say like it dropped, it made like I want to say like 9%. So now I was up like 2% on the account. And if at the time, if you were in profit on the account, you could get like an
oh
extension.
yeah, the reset. Yeah,
Yeah. So I was like, all right. I had gotten my move, but there was still, I think I was like a little bit down on the account still. So I hadn't gotten over that hump. So there was a continuation move on it. That's kind of how, so I scaled in on the continuation move, but that one, now I had more to risk, more count balance to risk. So I risked 8% to make a 1 to 2. It was a 1 to 1.2 risk to reward. And that
yeah,
8% would have made me 10%, which was going to pass me the challenge. And I was like, all right, I'll take it. Let's do it. And lie to you not, I passed that account and I had that account up until the firm shut down. I was actually one of the VIP members. You get that like same day withdrawal, 90%.
yeah,
And so I held the account for a long time and, made 20,000 on the account, but it definitely was a wing and a prayer. It was just everything lined up
yeah.
perfectly. And lie to you not, before that account, I had used like the last $500 that I had to get it. And I was like, I can do this. I told myself, I said, if I fail this account, I am just gonna have to, find something else to do. And until I figure this out. And literally, I was like, all right, look, I woke up that morning. I said, if this is gonna be for me now, Lord, I need you to tell me something, show me something today, and pass the account, got payouts on it. So that was a cool little experience of my first. I wouldn't recommend it, obviously, and now I don't have that.
Yeah, disclaimer. We have to do a disclaimer on that one.
It definitely, it was just,
bro, that you were the first person I've ever heard say "lie to you not." I've heard "kid you not." I've heard "shit you not." I've never heard "lie to you not." That's like a new version
Lie
of
to you
that
not.
saying to me.
That's
I
funny.
dig it though. I dig it.
Yeah, I didn't notice it. I'm from Sweden, so we have we talk Swedish and English in both kind of combination.
Is hockey big in Sweden, Sam?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we got a lot of NHL players, I think, in the from Sweden.
Yeah, I'm a big.
I don't watch it though.
Sorry, what? I was hoping you were gonna say you were into it.
I mean, I played hockey before, but then I switched over to actually playing American football, and then I started playing soccer.
You played football? What position did you play?
No, I played like 2 weeks. I was like, no, I'm out.
Okay.
Screw this. I just tried it out. But then I went into soccer, and I went actually really good. I was gonna go for full time, but yeah, I just didn't enjoy it at the time. It became more of a like routine and hardship instead of doing it for fun. So
Lido made a good point, I think, in the comments about the daily chart. I mean, these obviously today's looking like a nice downtrending day, but even today, the move yesterday down didn't happen until late. We got to move down, but it chopped a while before it really made the move. But
you talking about Nas?
Yeah, his comment was, if you look at the daily candles from last Friday until now, really be honest and ask yourself how many of those daily candles really look like nice trading days. And if you compare, a lot of these have nice moves to them, and then you get these super small 4 days of just tiny doji candles that went literally nowhere, right?
Yeah,
candles went nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Yeah, you closed where you opened, and so like if you think this was good trading action right here, I can promise you, unless you're like a scalper where you're taking a trade and you're getting out in a couple minutes, that's absolute garbage trading action, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And today you can see there's been very clean short trading action. We got a nice big trending bar. The ideal trading in my world, at least, is being short in a day like this and being long in days like this. And the more you can avoid days like these, the better.
Yeah, I agree 110%.
Yeah, I think NASDAQ is coming into my point of interest, or one of them. I have two. So we might see, well, I hope at least next week. Do we have any news, like red folder news next week? Because usually NASDAQ tends to move a lot.
I have to double check. I can look.
Let me check. I got it up here. So next week we have Monday.
Please tell me.
Monday. It doesn't look like we have anything Monday.
I think Wednesday, usually.
So
Wednesday
Tuesday
or
we
Thursday.
have building permits, which is high impacting. Let's go to Wednesday. Let's see. Wednesday. Nothing Wednesday. Thursday. We got jobless claims on Thursday.
Okay.
And then Friday we have we got some PMI on Friday. So
Thursday and Friday is gonna be longs on my end at least.
Yeah, I think that sounds and lines up with where we're at structurally for now.
I mean, we have some demand zone. Like the major demand zone is, I think, it's about 2% out. So we could drop starting next week into the zones. That would be good. Wait, why is everyone flexing? What's going on?
I was stretching.
Bitcoin's giving me the move.
I just checked over one time and then two times. I said, both you started flexing.
Let me throw your screen up and so you can actually show us what you're talking about.
That's funny.
So yeah, we have, as I mentioned before, but I can show for those who joined a bit late to the stream, we had a big, massive engulfing here. We are running into a support zone from all of this. And I just want to go long under the 50, not above. So we have this, which is the pretty much the higher zone we could potentially see longs from, or at least just some rejections due to the fact that it's a strong demand zone. But anticipating, as you said, we had what? We had building permits and PMI next week. So we could potentially see price reaction, a big reaction from this support starting next week, and then we could see a drop into here, which is pretty much my A plus setup demand zone. And if price reacts here during a news, I won't say I'm gonna full port. I'm gonna be cautious with it, of course. But yeah, I'm gonna look for longs if price reacts here during news.
Let's see. Wizard TP, what are you referring to? Oh, see the XAU short momentum. Let's see. Not too much here. He must be talking about like Nas, right? Let's take a
Somebody
look.
said about short momentum.
Yeah, it has some gold. I could check.
Gold is literally just in between this structure here. Like,
yeah, we're ranging a lot here. I mean, there is a, what was that?
$44, the Punisher. You said that you'd like to get a FunderPro challenge. I just shared a link in the comment section. If you use code RISKLIFE, it'll get you 15% off any challenge account. That goes for anybody in the chat who'd like to take advantage of that 15% off.
Yeah, momentum on the short. I mean, there is a big difference between momentum and volume. You could see a lot of momentum going downwards. For example, here we have a lot of dropping price action here on gold, but the volume could be actually dying out. So
yeah,
and there is some actually like to trade this way. I think Lido talked about is Anna Collins, or some name. I think that's the name. He has to type if I'm right or wrong. But actually what she trades is the difference between momentum and volume. So basically if we have, let's just take this for example. I'm gonna mark this out so you can see it. So if we have a big bullish engulfing like this one, and we have a low volume under this candle, it could potentially be a squeeze in volume. So what they call them, I think it is like price volume anomaly, where price and the volume doesn't really agree. They're telling both different stories, so one bullish, one bearish, etc. So that's actually a good thing to kind of remember, especially when we're trading in a range. We could have high volume, which could be a potential squeeze for, accumulating orders upwards, but the momentum is actually just ranging.
got you.
You think Bitcoin's going to hit
Nas
100K this month, or is it going to wait till next year? Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
what do you guys think?
the way it's going right now, it looks like it's going to get there, but
I'm going to
I
check.
don't mean like right now, the second. I mean just over the last few days.
Yeah, we can actually do the price and volume analysis that I just talked about. Let's try this out, just to kind of give a real life example.
Nas has only put in 3 green 5-minute candles on the day.
Yeah.
15-minute chart has put in 0 during the New York session, I should say.
So this candle here, which was the 13th, which was 2 days ago, this candle closed with a major wick, right? It's underneath the 50% of the wick. The body closed within that range. meaning there is some form of rejection here. But we actually have very, very high volume in this. And this is the scenario that I spoke about. We could see a lot of volume, but price is telling another story that we're actually rejecting. The next day was actually red. And now we're forming some kind of support here. Sorry, resistance here. But yeah, I'm not quite sure if it could hit it before. I mean, it looks like it. If I'm going to be honest, we're just kind of rallying through everything here. But I'm not a really that kind of crypto guy. I'm not into it that much. I think Tyler is the more advanced crypto guy.
Yeah, not really even more it's not something I'm super into. I've never actually really day traded it. This is new for me. I'm kind of just hopping on the hype train right now, trying to catch some momentum longs or whatever. But I just don't like the setups that I have on the indices, which is what I normally trade, and so I decided to give some Bitcoin longs a try. Since I am not in any shorts, I was in a short last night, but I closed it on the indexes.
So, for example, if we are looking at this, I don't know, I asked the question or just spoke about momentum, SK short. Yeah. So if we're looking at this candle here, we have a lot of volume where I think we are trading above the, let's see, could we had a moving average? Yeah, so this moving average basically tells us if we're trading above or under the 20-day, which is 20 bars, 20 hours during this, or on the hourly chart. And we are trading above the average. But this for me, if you see the big wick here, it doesn't really look bearish, right? We have a major rejection here. But we have high volume, bearish volume. So this could be what Anna Collins called a squeeze, a volume price anomaly, where we could see price actually just popping up from here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I anticipate and expect, and been waiting for. If hopefully we could have got it in this session, but
it's taking its time.
If it doesn't, this will be something that I definitely look for early next week, you know, on the session open, especially during Asian session open next week. That'll be something that I'll be interested in if we don't get this move to the upside today. But we do see a break, let's say above the 25.75 levels, 25 like 75, 25.76 levels is a better indication.
Oh yeah, above here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was a good 30-minute supply zone up here that we reacted from.
Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah, I do want to see a break. I agree.
Oh, this is a boring day in the markets for me. I'm not gonna lie. Wednesday and yesterday was much more entertaining in terms of like volume.
All right, well, listen, throw your liquidity behind Bitcoin longs and let's pump this bad boy up, huh?
I don't have enough to push this Bitcoin up.
Yeah, we don't.
You're telling me your virtual challenge funds wouldn't help push Bitcoin up?
No, not the $200 I'd risk.
Wait, can I do? Oh, I can. Yeah, have you guys noticed this? If you want to change your candlestick like patterns or colors, you can actually do this. I actually noticed this like yesterday, and I've been on TradeLocker ever since it came out, and they integrated, TradingView, and I've used TradingView for a long time.
Yeah, I actually have my TradeLocker set up exactly like my TradingView. So that like my candlesticks are blue and white. I got all of my TradingView tools at the bottom that I have favorited on TradingView. Like I literally turned TradeLocker into TradingView and just, well, I mean, they integrated it. There's still some things that you can't do, but yeah, I got blue and white candles with gray and blue, market execution, like for my trades, short and long positions.
Yeah, error have kind of gray and white colors candles. Yeah, I think Lido too, right? Yes.
Yeah, he does the
Black
white.
and
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of clean. Yeah, I've been focusing on mainly just keeping it standard like this, but I've actually tried having like green, purple. I've tried every color.
Mm.
I'm a Christmas baby. I gotta keep them Christmas candle vibes going.
For me, like I switched mine to blue and white just because they were neutral colors in the beginning. Sometimes, like how you said, I could only see buys. Like I couldn't
Yeah,
see
Yeah, I've heard,
sales,
and
you know,
people talk about that, the psychology behind the green and the red and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so when it's like I just was seemed you know, seeing those red candles, it just was unattractive to sell, you know. I could see buys clearly, but when it comes to seeing the sell, like the same setup inverted for a sell, it just made it so much more. I don't know. For me, it's like, nah, it's gonna buy eventually. Like
yeah,
that's how. So being able to switch them to blue and white, I was taught helps with the psychology, and it does. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like see any difference. It's kind of like white and black when it terms of buy and sell. I don't see, you know, good and bad, which is what I was seeing in
yeah,
terms of red and green. It's kind of stop and go type deal. So yeah, I definitely switched my colors over to that blue and white.
yeah,
Just to help me. But that the inverting tool, because I used to do that. Like when I traded EURUSD heavily, I would, because I just couldn't see sales, so I would have to flip it to the buy, like to or invert it, shall I say, just to be able to clearly see structure. Of like, okay, you know what, I would take a buy here, and then
yeah,
I would flip it back exactly how you did. So I didn't even know that you could just flip it directly from the chart. I would literally just go and look up the inverse of that chart for EURUSD. It was
yeah,
USD
exactly.
and just, you know, kind of map it out from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun kind of doing this. It's kind of weird at first, but then once you get used to it, I mean, it looks bullish from here, so it kind
Yeah.
of flips the mind a lot. Yeah, buying is a lot easier. I think that's just human nature. Everything, everyone is used to buying stocks. So shorting is kind of going against the
Mm-hmm.
normal
Yeah.
bias that we have as humans. Especially having it, as you said, it's neutral if it's white or black, but red, everything kind of associated with the red when it comes to investing or trading is just bad.
Yeah.
Everything is just bad.
My room is technically not blue. My the light behind me that's, you know, setting the ambiance to my room is blue though. I think my brand colors are just blue and purple. So I just, or not blue and purple, blue and yellow. So I just kind of keep that theme consistent in my videos. I don't know. I like the blue vibes though. I like the blue vibes. I got blue like behind. You can't see it, but I got like 3 monitors and I got like lights behind all of them. So I got blue shining lights behind those as well.
Yeah, I like it. Do you have like a camera zoom on your? It kind of like zooms in and out.
I totally,
Or is it
it's
just
just
me?
his
It's
phone.
my
He's so
phone, man. I use my iPhone. I don't know how it does that though. I can't lie
Oh,
to you.
okay. Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
it's
know
some
how it does that.
focus thing.
Yeah, it
it
definitely
just, yeah, I think
does
it just
like
does it automatically. Yeah.
kind of track.
Yeah, I thought you had some like super expensive camera that does like
Yeah, track. Oh,
animations
they
and
I
stuff.
track
mean,
and everything. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I
I
do
asked him. I
have
was
a
like, bro,
camera, but
what
I
camera
don't
do you
use
have?
my camera in terms of like as like my desktop camera. I don't know why.
yeah.
It probably would have much no, it would have a much better quality, but this is good enough. And I don't know that it would have this kind of like tracking feature that I like here. So yeah, but I don't know why it does that, to be honest with you. Something in the update.
Bitcoin can give us a pop into this 89 190 area. I'm gonna take a trim. So let's see if we can get there.
Yeah, NAS is kind of the volume is dying out and the momentum here.
Yeah,
But I don't
yeah.
want to
I
trade
mean,
it until next week.
Nas
Wait
looks
this one.
we're moving down still, but we're just like wicking and
Yeah, I think we
small candle.
stopped.
Like it just kind
I
of
think we're gonna have
it looks like
some
we're basing out here a
momentum.
bit, but
Yeah, maybe market close like the 15-minute last candle.
I was tempted to try US 30 long from here. Once we got a spike to a new low a day that started to hold, but I decided to pass since the Bitcoin trade is working. I didn't want to have too much on.
Yeah, I'm gonna add US 30. Let's see.
Watch, I'll say
I
that
think
and watch it's gonna work now.
yeah. I think
No.
US 30 is a bit more. I don't know. It just feels Nasdaq has such more clear price action. I think.
Yeah, I
think so too.
agree. When I trade it, I normally end up regretting it. That's why it's kind of another reason I just passed. I was like, you know what?
You kind
This
of regret
Bitcoin
it.
trade's
Yeah.
working. I don't need to throw on another one that's just gonna cause headaches. But
Have you guys tried trading silver?
Nope.
I never have. No.
I'm just saying you should try.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
gem.
not. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not
it's
against it. That's for sure.
no, it's exactly like gold. The price action
Yeah.
is so clean. It's insane. But I traded. I don't day trade it, but I invest in it, so I can take like swing
Okay.
positions. And one of my best positions actually was when we broke the 30 level. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's really good if you want to add something to your arsenal.
Yeah, I started looking at it a little bit ago when gold was getting like the pump to all-time highs, thinking that silver may follow suit and do the same thing. So I started watching it a little bit, but not like super actively. I've never actually traded it.
Yeah, but it's like gold, but it's not that wicky. It doesn't have the volatility
Mm.
wicks that gold has, and it kind
Hmm.
of follows. It's like a follower to gold. You know, it's like Ethereum and Bitcoin. It kind of follows
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
Bitcoin goes, but it's not such a volatile market. So it's kind of the slow one, but it works really really well actually. Wait, can I share my screen? I can show you guys the
Yeah, yeah.
example here.
Yeah, sorry, I was zoning in over here on
That's
something.
fine.
yeah,
That's
he's
fine.
locking in.
Yeah, it's locked
Yeah.
in.
Get ready for that trim, baby.
Yeah. So basically, this is the consolidation on gold. But if we look at silver, notice how the wicks are somehow forming a more cleaner formation, right?
Yeah.
Now, I
Mm-hmm.
actually heard, I don't know if this is true, I'm just speculating, but you could kind of trade how silver and gold moves, like in how they move together. So, for example, we actually broke the high here, which what I've heard should mean that gold actually also will break.
Yeah.
I
And
haven't backtested this,
it's funny you say that
but
because
it's cool theory.
I s- I see confluences of gold, breaking the high. So as soon as you pulled the chart up and I realized that silver had broke the high, I started to think that same
Yeah,
thing. Like, okay, yeah, this is uh a good possible position for gold to move higher. I would definitely love to see that more, the extra confirmation on gold specifically, but I think that confluence could be consistent in terms of also when we start to see volume in for a particular, currency as well. So like when we
yeah,
start to see volume pick up for, silver, it's likely that we see that translate through gold as well.
yeah. I like trading this. I actually might start doing some more silver activities. Yeah, it's very clean as you guys can see. So this was the 30 level that actually broke, which I actually think is a monthly level. So it's as you guys can see, it's a very clear support level. Also here, we are on the weekly, but I'm going to go on the monthly just to show you guys if it's... Yeah, it might not even have data right now. My internet is a bit laggy, so...
I took a trim on my Bitcoin long. I had 0.20 lots. I trimmed a quarter of it. I took 0.5 lots off.
Yeah, you can share your Bitcoin screen. I just wanted to show the silver.
So we had to push up into the level. So I took a trim there. So I was up. I think it was around $240, $250 total. Took a trim of 0.05 lots. So I'm still holding 0.15 lots. I also am going to move my stop up a little. Tighten this up here. I may even go break even, to be honest with you. No, I'll keep it under this low. That's only $3 a risk. Hold this bad boy, see what else we can get out of it. Happy to have avoided the indexes today. For me, the US 30 long would have given me an initial pop at least.
Abdul, it is rough, and I hope that you know that this is just one challenge in your trading journey. Don't let this area and this position that you're in discourage you from trading. Just revitalize your plan. The daily drawdown limit, that would say that maybe you were taking too many trades or had too much leverage in a singular day, and that's something that could be easily addressed. That's something that can be changed, and continue to go forward. Just know that this position that you're in, and the challenge, all of that you're feeling, it is temporary, and there is light at the end of the tunnel, but it's not gonna, something has to change for something to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. That's what they say. So revitalize your plan. Think about the things that you did maybe wrong, things that you could have improved on. And when you're in the position to get it on their account, or you feel a little more confident, don't give up is all I would say. Just don't give up, even if you have to take some time away.
Good. Abdul, I was just going to ask where you're from, if you live in the States or somewhere else. You mentioned about losing your job. I was just going to ask you if doing DoorDash or doing Uber or Lyft or any of those things are an option for you. I had a point in time, I don't know, maybe a year ago, where I was in between jobs trying to trade, broke as could be, and I just started DoorDashing, and kind of got me through. But there's, obviously, it probably depends where you live, and if you have, if you have a car, if you have access to all that stuff. So, but yeah, man, it's tough. I promise you, the three of us have probably all been through really lows in our trading journey, and in order to make it in this game, you got to stay resilient. You got to brush it off, try to learn from it, and keep fighting, man. Keep fighting. So, but obviously, being out of work I'm sure that adds a lot of extra stress.
Yeah,
that's another thing about trading, though. If you you're having a lot of issues in your outside life, if you're having financial issues outside, your trading starts to become where you need to make money. So you start forcing things. It really can affect your trading and
Your psychology and all of that.
Yeah. So while I totally get how, you lost your job, so you use your savings to buy this account, and but that can be tough when you put all that pressure on yourself when you're trading. That can definitely make it a lot harder. So my advice would be try to find another, some sort of income stream whether it's really anything you could do where you can still bring in a little bit of money and save up for another account and get back on the horse. But wish you the best of luck. And if you need any other advice, any other help, feel free to reach out. Well, boys, we're getting to that 2-hour mark here.
Indeed, we
you
are.
guys final thoughts before we hop off?
My final thoughts is I'm just gonna be reevaluating gold for for next week. Looks like, because I don't. Well, obviously there might be some volume that we get added later in the day, but I don't know that I'll be too inclined to take that as we're coming to the close of the week. So I'll be reevaluating, looking for likely potentially gold longs next week. It all depends on how the structure moves. We're obviously in a corrective structure of a impulsive move to the downside, so it would just be a short-term buy likely if I do look to take buys. And then if price continues pushing to the downside and we see a 25-35 break, then I'll continue to look for my sells from there after we get some type of correction into a key area of interest. But in terms of this week, it's a good week. I'm gonna spend the rest of the day celebrating and chilling.
Sam, do we send Kyron off? Do we sing happy birthday to him?
I mean, we could.
He said we could.
I think he deserves it.
How are you?
Who, me?
You think he deserves it?
No, I think.
All right, here we go. We're wrap it up at a 1. Do they sing happy birthday the same way as? Yeah, you got to end with the shades. Yee. Do they sing happy birthday the same way as Sweden?
Oh no! It's a very different one, but I'll do it in English.
Whoa,
I know
it. Bro! I want to hear the Sweden version.
He said.
No, don't pressure me. I don't even know if I know the one. Wait, let me Google it real quick.
Well, all right. I'll serenade you. You ready, Kyron? You ready?
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I need a candle.
Happy birthday, dear Kyron. Happy birthday to you.
I appreciate that. Let's give him a round of applause. Wizard
Perfect.
TP, my birthday is tomorrow. I'll be 25, and I am, in fact, a Scorpio.
Ooh, baby. Scorpio season is in full effect. I just serenaded you in front of 100 live viewers. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the birthday wishes for sure.
Yeah, I wish you the biggest take profit in the world, my guy.
Oh yeah. Next week is gonna be a fat take profit.
Oh, it's gonna be fire.
We're eating, baby. We're eating. Well, hey, thank you to everybody who tuned in for the stream today. Reminder, we'll be back on Monday. We're live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday around 9:15 before New York Open. And if you continue to trade today, good luck. Try not to ruin your weekend. If you've locked some profits today and you're done, congratulations. And we'll see you all on Monday. Peace out, gang. Peace.
Peace out.
End stream.